good evening, my friends. Viewers from around the world, perhaps. We'll see if that happens. You never know. I don't know where anybody is, except for David and Archie, frankly. I know where Jason is. Anyway, so. All right. A little update. You can't see it, but my office is in a transitional state. I'm going to be rearranging my workstations, and so I spent most of today kind of going through stuff, throwing stuff away. That side of my office is fairly empty. I don't really have the ability to pan my camera around, and this side is still full, so I'm adding another desk over there. Should be lovely. I'll be working on that tomorrow. Video production is suffering because of that. Jason's article is also suffering because of that. I've been preoccupied with my workspace. My workspace is kind of overrun, and I need to do something about it. So Monday, there'll be a slightly different camera angle. You'll be able to see that. Probably see this bookshelf from a different angle. I might hang my green screen on there and then have a funky background or something. So we shall see what happens. I don't know yet. I have no idea. And then next week is Thanksgiving week. So I haven't determined a schedule yet. We'll probably be a little short tonight. I'm going to give you a heads up. My Anaheim Mighty Ducks, and I can get into that story if there's interest about how I picked the Ducks of all teams living in Idaho. It's not a very exciting story. Are playing my son's Colorado Avalanche at 7 my time, so that is 1 hour from now. Probably puck drop is probably 7:10 if I know how these things work. So that's pretty close to typical normal show. If you want to Telegram me, a Telegram is a way to send private messages that YouTube can't get. Hopefully I don't get banned for that. There was another YouTuber who was promoting a different streaming platform or a different video platform, and apparently YouTube banned him. Like, that was the big story that came through my feed last week. So hopefully none of that occurs. So anyway, so the office is in a state of flux. So, and again, you can't see that because I'm the little dude in the or big dude. I'm the dude in the box. We'll just go with that. All right, let's go check the chat real quick. See who's here. We got Archie from New York. Archie in Central New York. Clear skies 37. Crazy. It is 52. It was 62 here in the Boise Valley today. It'll be interesting to see what sort of winter we get. I keep seeing differing predictions on all of that good stuff. So I would love to leave my snowblower in the garage again. I think I took it out once last year. Probably didn't need to. I think everything melted that day without me going out there to do anything, but we'll see. All right, let's see. Next up, Jason Wayne Hobbs Music member. Welcome, Jason. Sorry I didn't coordinate having you come into the show tonight, but when I realized it was hockey night in the household, I didn't want to short everybody your lovely dulcet tones. Since you are musical and I am not. My wife is, but maybe one of these days we'll have you play something on stream, perhaps. That might be fun. You never know. I don't want to put you on the spot by any means, but yes, hopefully you're feeling better. I saw the picture with you and I think it was your nephew. That was super cool. Let's see. Back to normal. Bodacious is here. Good evening, Bodacious. All right. Jim Smith is here. Sorry, I was reading. He says, hello, my other team, the Commanders, fell to your Seahawks, but it was a fun game. That was a very entertaining game, honestly. very entertaining game. So yeah, they home team in the NFL typically should be the winner. Typically, it's hard to win. It's really hard to win on the road. That's the old saying. So when you're a good team and you are able to win on the road, you typically go far in the playoffs. So. All right, let's see. Archie asks, "Are we going on Monday? When will Sunday start?" I'm gonna do regular Monday. I think this Monday. I will be unavailable next Wednesday, so a week from today. I will be unavailable. I may not get this week's video done, so I may have 2 videos posting next week. They're kind of updated redos of hotel visits. So per Archie's request, I'm going to update the Singapore hotel, and I think I'm going to update. Where's my list? I'm going to do Singapore. Actually, I might have 3. I might be able to do 3 because they are updates. So I'm going to do. Let's see. I'm going to do Fort Lauderdale. So the ones I'm redoing are the ones that got a lot of views on my hotel channel. So I'm redoing the Courtyard in Fort Lauderdale, which is a cruise port. So I think a lot of people check out the Courtyard. It's a very lovely courtyard, but it's a courtyard. The full Marriott in Houston, which is at the airport. Love that. Love staying there. And let's see, I'm going to do the Singapore JW Marriott, which is probably my second favorite ever hotel. Jim, Jim wasn't here Monday. Jim's a working man, so he was not here. So let's see. New time, Jim. Wednesday will remain the same except for next week because it's Thanksgiving holiday. I'm going to give myself a little break. And the Monday show, I have a conflict that has creeped up weekdays, especially Monday from that, what is noon Eastern time. It's 10 a.m. my time. So I've got a conflict at that time that has come onto my schedule. So I think I'm going to, the question I asked on, on Monday, last Monday, was a preference of a Saturday. Pretty much it can be anytime Saturday or anytime Sunday. I think what we talked about was Sunday morning as a good time to do a travel stream. And I forgot I was going to bring that up tonight and kind of get final votes on that. So right now I'm thinking like Sunday morning, maybe 11 Eastern, maybe noon. I somewhere in there. Oh, cool. There is an A380. That is, my flight radar. Sorry, got distracted. Squirrel.
He made me this collar so that I may talk. Squirrel.
I'm looking at, I got flight radar above, and the Emirates flight from San Francisco to Dubai is passing by my area right now. That's kind of cool. Anyway, so yeah, I think we're going to move to, I think Sunday. I don't know if you guys have a preference. Sunday seemed to be the preference on the last stream. So I'm thinking Sunday mornings at 9, my time, which would be 11 Eastern. So if you guys are okay with that, let me know. If that's me, anyway, so I think we're going to move to that. So Sundays in the mornings and Wednesdays in the evenings. So the Wednesday would stay the same. Is the plan. So let me know what you think of that. If that's okie dokie, give me a thumbs up. If that's unfortunate, you guys are my core viewers are here, so I want to make sure that everybody is pleased and able, maybe able to attend on the weekend as well. So all right, it is 6:10 my time, so let us move to the regularly scheduled program. And Jason says works for you. And so Jason, as I said, I will get the article. I might work on the article. I got a couple of videos I got to get done, so I don't know. I got my office. I got to get. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. It's kind of crazy around here, and then we got Thanksgiving next week. And we've got company and family and all that good stuff. So fun times, busy times. Yeah. let's move to the regular programming and we'll get to the opera map. The map. So this is what view I get when I start Flight Radar 24. Here's the Emirates that flew by, flew nearby. I need to get on one of those. Yeah, I need to get on an A380 one of these days. Here is the lovely Boise Airport. Very busy right now. Lots of stuff going on. Looks like we got FedEx. Couple. That's like a King Air probably. Gulfstream Jet Prop. I don't know what that is. Oh, he's doing loops. Delta going to Salt Lake. Yep. Hey, A220. Nice. All right. So that's what's happening in my part of the world. Let's see what's happening in the rest of the world. The most tracked flight right now, something called Troll Research. Oh, that's Air Norse. Got a 787-9. Going over the South Pole. Or are you going under the South Pole? Over or under? I don't know what it is. Looks like they're going from Cape Town, South Africa to actually Antarctica. Wow, that's cool. I watched one of the things I've watched over the last couple weeks was I watched an ocean cruise that went to Antarctica, and they actually went through this area. What is that? Cape Horn down here? I think it was. Anyway, and they went to the Falklands, but they went down and kind of weaved their way down the coast a little bit. They got to the 70th parallel, I think is what it was. Super cool. I'd love to do that. I think that would be a lot of fun. So get to Antarctica. They actually got off of the cruise ship and got on Antarctica. I think that's super cool. I would love to do that. That's on my to-do list. Let's see what else is flying around. Something called Wolf's Fang, or from Wolf's Fang to another one down here in Antarctica. Here's the Norse. Huh. People are tracking these Antarctic flights right now. Crazy. And then something out of Sacramento doing laps. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, you know why they're doing that, don't you? The former vice president is meeting with the premier dictator. What is his actual title? I'll probably get banned for calling him a dictator, but the leader of the Communist Party in China is in San Francisco. Yeah, San Francisco looked beautiful today. Lots of Chinese flags. The pictures I saw, I didn't see any American flags. So I don't know what's going on there. But anyway. Archie says, my nephew works the runway at McMurdo in Antarctica. Very cool. Very cool. Cold. Very cold. Especially this time of year because it would be winter. Let's see. The Earth is... No, it's getting to be light, isn't it? So we're tilted. The northern hemisphere is getting tilted away, so that'd be lots of daytime coming up in Antarctica. Yeah, yep. So there's the day-night line. So yeah, lots of daylight. It reminds me, coming back from Europe one time, we actually flew into the tip of the darkness. In the northern hemisphere as we were going over Greenland. So I got like 2 sunrises that day. It was super cool. Got a sunset when we flew in to the darkness, and then a sunrise when we came out on the other side of Greenland. That was pretty cool. Archie says they had 4 planes on the ground at one time last month. Wow, a lot of traffic. Very cool. Very cool. Give that some hearts. Okay, right. Disruptions around the world. Doesn't look too terribly bad because their index is only 2.2, but Buenos Aires in Argentina. Something's still going on in Israel. I don't know what that is. Budapest, Sao Paulo, West Palm Beach, PBI. Is the Orange Man flying in and out of West Palm Beach? I think I saw the Orange Man 1 airplane there once upon a time. The Orange Man's airplane looked very nice. That he's got a beautiful 757. Something in Indonesia. Ted Stevens. Cool airport. Good plane spotting in Anchorage, by the way. You got to look out for bear and moose, though. I was warned to look out for bear and moose. That's the only airport I've ever been to that warned me to look out for bear and moose. I didn't see either, but Sao Paulo again, the other airport in Sao Paulo. I believe there are two. So that's the international. So it must be some weather. Bogota and Nassau in the Bahamas. So cool. Jim says, I heard not long ago a good phrase for jet lag. Going west is best. Going west. So that would be flying like to Japan from here. Going east is a beast. So true. Much better than going west. I know random, but that Greenland story made me think of it. Yeah. Maybe it was Jason. Could have been. Thank you very much. That was pretty cool. No, I'm going to do that next. All right, so we're going to move to a news story. I finally remembered to play it. All right, I'm going to take a drink. All right. Needed a drink. All right, so FAA clears SpaceX to launch second Starship flight. So been talking about this. I'm not super excited about the times that are chosen for this, but we will go through the article and you'll see what I mean. The FAA has cleared Elon Musk's SpaceX to launch the second spaceflight attempt of its towering Starship rocket, the agency said Wednesday. SpaceX posted on the social media platform X. Hey, they didn't put the formerly known as Twitter. We're making progress. That's good. Does anyone at this point not know that Twitter is now X? Anyway. Shortly after the green light that it was targeting Friday, November 17th for Starship's second flight test. Here's the part that I don't really care for. A 2-hour launch window will begin at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. I don't live in the Eastern Time Zone, so that is 6 a.m. Eastern Time or Mountain Time. So I will be up early Friday morning, preparing for live stream. It looks like it's a 2-hour window. So my plan is to come on stream at, let's see, if it's 6 a.m. window, theoretically they could be launching right at 6 a.m. It's unlikely, but it's possible. So I will be setting my alarm, getting coffee, and going live sometime between 5:30 and 6 my time. If this wasn't a super cool thing in my nerd universe, I don't think I would be doing it. But it is super cool. The first launch was in April, and it's taken this long to get everything taken care of that the FAA, Fish and Wildlife Service, and all this stuff wanted to get done. So let's keep reading. Starship first launched in April, achieving flight for a few minutes before exploding in midair due to the flight termination system, which is super cool. Even that's super cool. It was planned. Severely damaging the ground infrastructure. If you have a chance, actually, let's look at this. If they show the hole in the ground, there's just bits and pieces everywhere. Damaged some of the tanks. Look at that. Some of the concrete blew out of the pad. Anyway, it devastated the area underneath the pad. So they've done a whole bunch of work to improve that. The Fish and Wildlife Service determined that the rocket launch and subsequent damage to the pad infrastructure had no long-term negative effects on the surrounding ecology, according to an agency report released Wednesday. It's not a beautiful area. I'm sure there's some protected snail there, but it's not it's not a pretty area. Like coastal desert. Anyway, still, SpaceX will help mitigate damage to the area by reducing sound waves and vibrations, assisting in fire suppression, and providing launch pad protection, the agency said. Yeah, so they got a whole water deluge system that is all set up. I've seen a couple of the tests. That's actually one of the things that the Fish and Wildlife Service was checking, because that amount of water that they were deluging the pad ends up in the surrounding wetlands or desert lands or whatever you want to call them. So they wanted to make sure that there was no bad stuff in the water, I guess. Anyway, Starship is critical to NASA's plans to return astronauts to the moon and to SpaceX's own goals in the launch and satellite markets, representing significantly more launch capability than any rocket currently on the market. And that includes the lovely Artemis program that is probably going to go to the moon next year. I'm a little nervous about the whole Artemis and all that stuff. We shall see what happens there. Anyway, so if you're interested in nerd stuff and want to come along, and obviously if you're on the West Coast, that's even earlier. That's 5 a.m. So I'll be live streaming it, is the plan, as long as I remember to wake up when my alarm goes off. So the plan is I'll be live streaming before 6 a.m. my time on Friday. So that's that. And I hope some of you who are interested will come along and tell me or watch me react. The live stream, if you don't come into the stream, the live stream is on X. It will not be on YouTube other than my stream. So, and there's a couple other nerd groups that are doing it, but why would you want to watch them? I'm much more entertaining than they are. Just kind of why I don't watch them, because they frankly kind of annoy me. Anyway, let's move on to another news story. All right. We talked about this on Monday. Looks like Iceland's about to blow up. Not good. Really not good. According to this, time's finally up. Impending Icelandic eruption is part of a centuries-long volcanic pulse. Iceland's Reykjanes, I have no idea, peninsula is now in a new era of volcanic eruptions that will last for up to 500 years. Good thing the world's only going to be around another 10, according to some people in Congress. And the building magma, I didn't get Dr. Evil saying magma. Dang it. I'm going to write that down, because this could be a continuing story. So I'm going to write that down. Oh, dang it. I hit the wrong button.
Give me a ping, Vasily. One ping only, please.
I got to get Dr. Evil magma. All right. Where was I? Iceland's potentially imminent eruption in the peninsula is part of a 1,000-year cycle of volcanic activity that will likely cause eruptions for centuries, scientists say. Time's finally up, says Edward Marshall, researcher at the University of Iceland Nordic Volcanological Center, told Live Science in an email. We can get ready for another few hundred years of eruptions on the peninsula. Seismic activity began increasing in the south of the peninsula in October, with hundreds of earthquakes recorded there each day. On November 10th, authorities evacuated the town of Grindavik, with experts warning of a volcanic. I have a hard enough time reading, and then shouldn't that be a volcanic anyway? Could take place in just a few days. Yeah, I have a hard enough time. Have me do math. Have me do math. Yeah. So here's Iceland. The tectonic plates go through the center of Iceland, so we're getting a lot of activity out here on this peninsula. Reykjavik is in the vicinity. Yeah, so that's got to be very concerning because if this starts going, it would probably, I would guess, be where these darkest dots are. Um, that could be really bad for everybody there. So anyway, according to the Icelandic Met Office, a magma tunnel stretching 9.3 miles formed beneath the ground between, oh gosh, why do they between this and that. The area affected also encompasses the Blue Lagoon Geothermal Spa, a tourist hotspot that attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors annually. Maybe I need something to read this article for me. Magma in the tunnel, also known as a dike, appears to be rising to the surface, and there's a high risk of it breaking through. The greatest area of magma upwelling is currently close to Sundahuk, about 2 miles north of Greenwich, according to the IMO. Researchers believe the amount of magma in the tunnel is significantly more than was present during the eruptions of the Fraggle Rock volcano, which sparked back to life in 2021 after more than 800 years of inactivity. I'm just gonna make it up. I'm sorry. If you're from Iceland, I really apologize. I do not have of good language skills. I barely can speak English. Sorry. No, it's not that bad. It looks like 2021 kicked off a new eruption phase, which might see the several fault zones crossing the peninsula firing on and off for centuries. I see tourist opportunities. Did anybody watch the? Did anybody watch? There's a thing about you could visit a volcano in. I think it might have been on Netflix. You could visit a volcano off the coast of New Zealand, and these people like got blown up while they were visiting. It's awful. So I will be not visiting an active volcano. I have no plans to, because the thought of getting burned alive by the steam and everything, ugh, awful. The peninsula sits above two tectonic plates that are being pulled apart. The strain that builds up is released in bursts as part of the cycle. We're now in one of those pulses. Yeah, the North Pole, the magnetic poles are moving. I read an article about that this week. That's disturbing. Each eruption releases just a bit more of the stored up strain, and eventually, when all that strain has been released, the eruptions will stop. California has a supervolcano? Huh. I did not know that. Disturbing. It's currently unclear if an eruption will take place as a result of the magma tunnel. Magma. These sorts of dikes are actually tectonic, not a magnetic feature. In other words, the lava is filling a fracture, not forcing its way into the rock. Should a fissure emerge, the eruption could last for several weeks. The large amount of magma involved compared with previous eruptions in the region could result in more lava flow at the surface, Oppenheimer said. Still didn't see that movie. I'm going to see that. Anyway. There you go.
He made me this collar so that I may talk. Squirrel!
Little squirrel moment for you. What happens next is a waiting game. I predict if an eruption occurs that it will occur between a few days to 3-ish weeks. It's good to be a volcanologist, because then you can just go, yeah, I got a feeling it's going to be that, this is gross. That's gross. Thanks, Live Science. Now I'm going to have, that's like nightmare fuel. And anyway, a lot of dead stuff. I don't want to see that. Oh, yeah. All right. Where was I? There's my missed button push. All right. Archie says, and in honor of his comment, I have to.
How dare you?
Maybe Greta can stop the carbon output of the magma. I think I read one time that like the Mount St. Helens eruption released as much carbon into the atmosphere as some absurd number of years of the human population since the Industrial Revolution. Bodacious adds, perhaps by sacrificing yourself in the volcano again. So I'm gonna.
He made me this collar so that I may talk. Squirrel!
I'm gonna squirrel again. Joe versus the volcano. Really enjoyed that movie. Back when Meg Ryan still looked like Meg Ryan. I saw a preview for Meg Ryan in an upcoming movie, and I didn't recognize her. I didn't know that was Meg Ryan. She looked completely alien, frankly. Yeah, looked like she was filled with plastic. Jason followed up with why punish the volcano.
Be excellent to each other.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's good point. Good point. Maybe like in Joe versus the Volcano, they would get spit back out and thrown into the ocean. Right. Jim with the how dare you. Jason with his halo. Very nice. Very, very nice. I enjoy that. Archie adds volcanic ash is very bad for air travel. Yes, it is. It is really bad because my understanding is it doesn't necessarily show up on like traditional radar, and so the particulates get up into the clouds, and your airplane could be flying through an ash cloud and not know it. And obviously, if it's bad enough, the ash, I believe, melts and coats the hot parts of the engine, and worst case is it stalls the engine, and airplanes don't do well if they don't have thrust, so that would be bad. Yeah, volcanic ash would be bad. I remember visiting. I had some family friends who lived in Spokane, Washington, and I remember visiting them during one of the Mount St. Helens eruptions. We weren't living in Washington State. We were living in, I think, Vegas, but we were visiting, and it blew. And you just, I think the ash cloud missed us, but I remember we stopped. We were driving back home, and I remember we stopped somewhere on the side of the freeway and got jars of ash at different places. And the closer you got to Mount St. Helens, the more coarse it was. Pretty fascinating stuff. But I digress. All right. And I think it's time to move on. All right. And moving on. This is bad. Oops. More garbage in space. Astronauts dropped a tool bag during an ISS spacewalk, and you can see it with binoculars. Oops. That's not good. Because it's going to be in the vicinity of the space station too. So anything coming to dock with the space station is going to have to be aware of this new piece of junk in the atmosphere, in the low Earth orbit. Anyway, let's read the article because I have not read it yet. I'm fascinated by how this happens. Everything always seems super tethered and everything, but apparently this one got away. Some astronomy targets are less celestial in nature than others. Joining stars, planets, nebulas, and galaxies as a target for skywatchers is now a surprisingly bright tool bag. Big. This is my Wisconsin for you. Floating through the space around Earth. The bag of tools gave NASA astronauts Jasmine Mogbelli and Laurel O'Hara the slip on November 2nd, 2023, as they were conducting a spacewalk outside of the International Space Station. The tool bag is now orbiting our planet just ahead of the ISS with a visual magnitude of around 6, according to Earth Sky. That means it is slightly less bright than the ice giant Uranus, pronounce that as you will, the 7th planet from the sun. As a result, the bag, officially known as a crew lock bag, is slightly too dim to be visible to the unaided eye, but skywalkers should be able to pick it up with binoculars. Oh, boy. That's not good. I wonder if they're going to go get it. To see it for yourself, first find out when you can spot the space station over the next few months. They have a new app. Oh, yeah, I've had that app from time to time. The bag should be floating 2 to 4 minutes ahead of the station. As it descends rapidly, the bag is likely to disintegrate when it reaches an altitude around 70 kilometers. Oh, so it is moving into the atmosphere. All right, so that's a good thing. At least it's gonna take care of itself. It's gonna burn itself up in the atmosphere. There's a whole that's an expensive mistake. because the space tools I think are very expensive too. I mean, it's expensive to any weight you carry into orbit is super expensive. Oh, there's comments. Let's check the comments. Oh, there's more article too. European Space Agency Reserve astronaut Megan Christian shared footage of the moment the tool bag escaped the grasp of Mugbelly on her X account. She added that the bag had last been sighted at that time by Crew 7 astronauts Satoshi Furukawa as it floated high above Mount Fuji. Yeah. Also on X, formerly known as Twitter, Harvard Center for Astrophysics astronomer Jonathan McDowell revealed that the bag is circling Earth roughly 258 by 258. That would be circular. Orbit. McDowell also explained that the bag has been given its own categorization in the U.S. Space Force cataloging system for artificial objects in orbit, blah, blah, and I don't really care. The tool bag joins a vast array of artificial space junk in orbit around Earth, ranging from pieces of shuttles and smashed up satellites to tools used by astronauts. So this is not the first time they've dropped a tool. This isn't even the first tool bag to reach orbit. I feel like there's a joke there that I'm avoiding, the tool bag. In 2008, as NASA astronaut Heidi Stefansky Piper attempted to repair a jammed gear on an ISS solar panel, she lost her grip on another tool bag which then circled our planet. And these definitely aren't the weirdest objects to find their way orbiting Earth. That honor goes to a humble spatula. Late NASA astronaut Piers Sellers lost his grip on the kitchen implement as he was using it to spread heat shield repair slime during the Space Shuttle Discovery's flight STS-121 in 2006. That was my favorite spatch. Don't tell the other spatulas, Sellers reportedly said about the loss. All right. Comment says, Go Mobile. Elderly wife says, hey, what you looking at? Elderly husband with binoculars pointed upwards. A spaceman's tool bag. Elderly wife softly mumbling, oh dear God. I'm not going to read the rest of them. If you would like to read the rest of the comments, feel free. I will not be editorializing either. Let's see. Jason asked, do I have a telescope? I do not have a telescope. That's something I've always wanted to get. But I've always found a reason not to buy one. It's one of those weird things that a lot like the chase for a camera. You always want to get a bigger telescope, I think, to see further, more distant objects. So, I looked at I think like a 5-inch or 6-inch one time, and I quickly realized then I did some research about what I could actually see with that nicely. Which then got me into like a 10-inch. And then if you get much bigger than that, you're better off kind of building your own. And I didn't really want to build a observatory in my backyard. So I've never actually gone further than that. I'd love to maybe get the 10-inch and get a photo mount, and get the auto tracking, all that stuff. Take some really cool sky pictures, but I have not done that yet. There's plenty of other things that I'm able to buy or wanting to buy, so it's just never made it to the top of the list. So, all right, drink time. All right, and I am quickly running out of articles. This is the penultimate article. Penultimate, I believe that's right. I always love these. 9 destinations you should not visit next year, according to travel experts. Lots of comments too. I'm guessing I would probably, if you asked me, I'm guessing I would probably say anywhere in Israel would come to mind. Central European republics would come to mind. Those are the two places that I would probably avoid. Just saying, it seems like there's something going on in those places. So, real quick, Jason adds, I flew with the captain who built his own observatory. Yep, lives in Salt Lake. Yeah. We don't have too bad of light pollution, and of course, if you build an observatory, you can kind of filter a lot of that light pollution out. I have done some star photos, star streaks, and stuff like that. I need to go. I need to book a trip up into the mountains, and take some night photos up in the mountains, because from up there you could certainly see the Milky Way. I can get the Milky Way just barely from my backyard. If I go south about 30 minutes, I can get pretty good Milky Way shots. But up in the mountains, it would be fantastic. Obviously, the middle of Nevada would probably be one of the better places to go. I know there's a dark map. If David's not here this evening, so he can't encourage everybody to give me a like. You like me, you really. Anyway, if you would give me a like, I'd appreciate it. That's a good way for YouTube to pass this video or suggest this to other people. Is the interaction has been really good tonight, and the likes also. So if you could do that for me, I'd appreciate it. Regardless of my pandering to the audience for likes, you like me, you really like me. Anyway, I want to go up to the mountains and take some photos that way. I really want to go. I was hoping to get to the Canyonlands when it's not hot, and do some night photography down there as well. So maybe I'll still get there. We shall see how that goes. So. All right, so here's where you should not go according to travel experts. I don't know who travel experts are. Kind of like that tips from a flight attendant that we've determined was not a flight attendant. So let's see. Knowing where not to go can be just as insightful as knowing where to go. It may not be as common to search for the worst places, but travelers will benefit all the same. Photos release their annual... Okay, so I would qualify them as a travel expert, since that's kind of their job. They released their annual No list for 24. We covered the same... All right. So here, to compile the No list, photos use 3 key factors: over-tourism, trash production, water quality, and sufficiency. All right, so here's the 9 that they say don't go. So Venice. There's simply no place quite like Venice. Sorry, Vegas. Vegas is... Here we go.
He made me this collar so that I may talk. Squirrel!
Vegas is hosting the Formula One race this weekend, and it's funny. There's all these videos from locals complaining about... it's ironic to me that the locals whose a lot of livelihood relies on the entertainment industry are complaining about a massive entertainment event coming to what some people call the entertainment capital of the world. You're complaining about this giant event. Sorry, I don't quite get. You should be happy that you're getting this giant event. I think. Regardless, back. Let's unsquirrel myself. Like a bratty toddler at Christmas, Venice has now made the naughty list twice. In 2018, the one-of-a-kind city was featured in the No list. Hasn't made enough improvements. Whether it's dolphins in the canals or extreme floods, ironically, this remarkable city is drowning with tourists to the point of being ineligible of becoming the next World Heritage Site. Strategies are being set to combat the crowds, but will a $5 entry fee make the difference? Nope, not a bit. I don't think $5 is a deterrent. If it's used as a metering device, timed entry, perhaps, but we'll see. Athens is on the No list. One of the trendiest places in Europe this year was Greece. Many, at the very least, make Athens their first stopping point in the country. Unfortunately, poor management of the influx of tourists is causing some big issues to their culture and the iconic Acropolis, which is a bummer. New protocols have been set in place to attempt to preserve the most historical landmark in the country. If you didn't know, this is the Acropolis, the center of that photo. Day trips have skyrocketed in popularity by crews, and the city isn't equipped to handle it. There are plenty of other amazing places in the Mediterranean waiting to be discovered while pushing the Acropolis further down on your bucket list. I'm guessing Malta would probably be on that to-do list. I could do Malta. I kind of dig Malta. Mount Fuji in Japan. Mount Fuji has seen such a rush of travelers that Japan is publicly encouraging tourists to go more off-path. Although its sheer beauty is a sight to behold, visitors are failing to recognize the danger in both the natural wonders, longevity, and the personal safety risks of climbing it. 3,250 meters. It becomes even more of a potential nightmare as long lines of hikers become blockades to emergency situations. Locals have demanded new security measures from the government. The government's here and they'll fix it for you, right?
How dare you!
The highest point of Japan has seen irresponsible visitors leaving behind rubbish and not paying fees to help conservation, a double whammy. Again, see, this is...
He made me this collar so that I may talk. Squirrel!
I need to shorten this. I see whammy and my favorite game show, Pressure Look. Whammies, sorry. A lot of squirrel moments tonight. I need to shorten that so it just goes squirrel. Anyway. Without proper management, it's simply not worth the selfies and once-in-a-lifetime postcards you can receive at the top. I don't know about that. With all these new technological advancements that phones and photo stuff things have, you can get rid of the people in a lot of photos. So, trash destinations to avoid due to trash production. Would that be San Francisco? Perhaps LA? Anyway. Oh, no. That's poop on the sidewalks. See, I got that mixed up. As the state that seems to take the most pride in being at the forefront of conservation and sustainability, you would think California would preserve natural sites better. Apparently not. For a state with a goal of banning gasoline-powered cars by 2035, they're off to a poor start making the world greener, at least with this destination. Do you realize that that I think that's the like a state law? They're not going to sell gasoline-powered cars. The state doesn't produce enough energy to keep its own lights on. It's again, in my former life as a power engineer for the local utility, they're importing like, I don't know, 12 gigawatts like every day from like the Seattle area where there's lots of hydropower and other things. Yeah, that's their consumption in the state is something like 30 gigawatts every day. Something, I don't know. That's huge numbers. Anyway, those are just guesses, by the way. I don't remember the exact numbers, but they got rid of all their carbon producing power plants, and then they expected people to build power plants that produce carbon outside of the state's boundaries, and then they can import all that power. That was their strategy. It's working. People are doing it. You can make lots of money. Anyway, 8,000 pounds of garbage. See, that was very squirrely, wasn't it?
He made me this collar so that I may talk. Squirrel!
Sorry. 8,000 pounds of garbage have been removed by volunteers, with the best solution now being to allow nature to heal from too many tourists and careless management. Very rugged looking. Probably, with no real foliage, it's probably a fairly benign hike. Ha Long Bay, Vietnam. Beautiful Vietnam has seen a surge of tourists this year. If you're one of the millions with plans to visit Ha Long Bay, you may want to reschedule or change destinations. Tourism is affecting the local community negatively, and the conservation policies have gone by the wayside. The bay is full of garbage and diesel, hurting fishing communities and wildlife. Boat tours frequented by visitors don't realize the ripple effects that can end up harming this UNESCO World Heritage Site. Oh, see, this one I want to go to. Oh, this makes me sad. And the winner of the most romantic destination in the world, travel awards, they must have missed the part about the massive dump site in the desert. Really? And let's be real, nobody dumps on dates. As gorgeous as the Atacama Desert may be with its natural wonders such as geysers, it's also home to a massive dump site used for textiles. Oh, I didn't know that. It's not exactly a place that screams romance, since Chile's government doesn't allow certain materials in landfills. The dump site has become so big you can see it from space. The desert may be marketed as a top tourist attraction, but it's not all it's cracked up to be environmentally. I want to go there. I really want to go there. For whatever reason, Chile is one of my places that I'm just curious about, want to go visit. These destinations lack water quality and sufficiency. Lake Superior, the largest freshwater lake on the planet, is facing a plethora. Okay, here we go again.
He made me this collar so that I may talk. Squirrel!
Every time I see the word plethora, I think of the movie Three Amigos. Jefe, would you say that I have a plethora of piñatas? Wow, I am the squirrel tonight. Anyway, warming waters are seeing worrisome effects on the environment, including icky. Oh, I love that. Again, here's another squirrel moment for you. When I was working as an engineer, I always tried to get the word icky into my reports if I could. Loved that. I'm not going to play squirrel again because I'm my squirrel, but I love throwing icky into a report. Very personal preference. Invasive species are invading the waters and affecting the ecosystem, which affects local communities. I am the squirrel. Just maybe I need to come up with a t-shirt that is just the squirrel. Squirrel. Visitors are leaving trash behind at campgrounds and stressing the environment to its limits. As beautiful as Lake Superior may be, it may be time to give it a break. The Ganges River in India. I've heard a lot about this one. India is a mystical place full of wonders across the country, but the Ganges River should perhaps be skipped on your itinerary. Issues are wide, ranging from pollution, endangered dolphins, which are I don't think my son is on this evening, but I believe they're pink. The dolphins in the Ganges, it's Ganges, isn't it? I think they're pink. And too many luxury cruise tourists. Pollution has been a major problem for years, yet the Hindu religion still sees this river as sacred, even with an estimated, here you go, 800 million gallons of untreated sewage poured into this body of water. Ugh. Even if you decide to add the Ganges River to your itinerary, this is not the place to go to cross off. Go swimming with dolphins. Yeah, I've heard that. Lots. There's lots of poop in that water. We don't want to go there. Those pipes.
These pipes are clean.
Koh Samui is a popular island destination in Thailand, but it comes with underlying problems. Water shortages are plaguing the island as 70% of supplies are being consumed. Just this summer, advisories were put into place that there are only 30 days of fresh water left. This has caused locals to have pay out of pocket for bottled water for both personal and business use. The hordes of tourists just simply aren't helping, as more people equals more consumption. Wow, that's brilliant. The water shortage began last December and is still ongoing today. Time for desalination. Locals believe fewer tourists will help the island get back to where it needs to be a thriving destination once again. There are ways to do that. You can literally have tourists have to buy a ticket to go to your place. It can be that easy. That's very regulatory of me, though, isn't it? Anyway. All right. Time for another sip, and we'll move on to the next article and the last article. All right. All right. So, since I went over an article of where you're not supposed to go, I figured I would follow that up, and yeah, we're getting close to puck drop. So, this will be the last article of the evening. So this is where you should go in Europe. We'll just get to the places. Nordland, Norway. Starting off the list, we have Nordland, a northern region of Norway, best known for its Arctic wilderness, dramatic fjords. I know that's not it. And mesmerizing northern lights. Fjords, I know. The country is also the perfect gateway to the Loften Island. Lofoten? See, I need David here to help me with pronunciations. Where are you, David? Where are you, my friend? Anyway, there you can marvel at the iconic towering peaks, explore gorgeous little fishing villages, and hike to breathtaking viewpoints overlooking the Norwegian Sea. This is another cruise thing that I watched. They were going up and back through a bunch of the fjords in Norway. Very cool. That cruise, I'd probably enjoy that one. Other items to add to your Nordlandic itinerary include marveling at Svartsen Glacier, Norway's second largest glacier, as well as witnessing one of the strongest tidal currents in the world, the Saltstraumen. All right, moving on. Galloway and Southern Ayrshire in Scotland. Located in southwest Scotland, Galloway and Southern Ayrshire are dotted with rolling hills, charming coastal villages, and ancient castles, providing the most picturesque backdrop for your next batch of travel pictures. This reminds me of, where did we go? Where did we go in the UK? Oh, gosh, excuse me. Reminds me of that. That's beautiful, though. The region is a haven for nature enthusiasts who can enjoy birdwatching in the RSPB Mole of Galloway and hiking along the Southern Upland Way, Scotland's longest coast-to-coast trail. All right. Emilia-Romagna, Italy. Now, I know about this place because there is a Formula One race here, and this would be a cool place to go to a race. The northern Italy region is synonymous with delectable cuisine, gorgeous historic cities, and world-class artistic heritage. So I'd love to go here. This would be a fun home base for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. I think they still are holding that. The last one was during the COVID stuff. So here, foodies can finally try the traditional balsamic vinegar of Modena, the authentic Parmesan cheese of Parma. Ooh, cheese. And the iconic handmade pasta of Bologna. Fun fact, ragu alla bolognese is Italy's national dish. So a warm plate of pasta accompanied by the rich sauce is a must-try. History buffs, on the other hand, will be able to experience the idyllic medieval towns of Ferrara and Ravenna, where they can see stunning architecture and ancient mosaics firsthand. Belfast. If you're looking to explore the wonders of Western Europe instead, you can't go wrong with Belfast, the capital of Northern Ireland and home to the iconic Titanic Belfast Museum. Between its rich history, vibrant spirit, thriving art scene, and warm atmosphere, this region has a lot to offer travelers looking for a unique European getaway from the chaotic crowds of Paris or Barcelona. The Titanic Museum I mentioned before is truly a must-see. It offers 9 interactive galleries that retell the story of the ill-fated ship in a way that's never been told before. Other attractions to add to your Belfast itinerary include the Cathedral Quarter, the Giant's Causeway, St. George's Market, the Belfast City Hall, and the Botanic Gardens. I like this would be a pretty cool itinerary. That would be fun. The Albanian Alps in Albania, once a hidden gem nestled in the heart of the Balkan Peninsula, Albania now has become the fastest growing destination in Europe, beckoning tourists with its idyllic views, warm hospitality, and reasonable prices. There you go. That's pretty. Ooh, that is pretty. It's worth noting that most tourists are flocking to the country's iconic Riviera, which, while gorgeous, is far from Albania's only natural attraction. If you travel a bit further north, you'll experience the stunning Albanian Alps. Those are beautiful. A rugged, unspoiled region that promises visitors the views of a lifetime. Which next year it will be ruined because everybody reading this article will be going there, and that would be that. Those looking for more of an adrenaline rush will be happy to learn that rock climbing, kayaking, and paragliding opportunities are also abundant in the area. One thing I do want to mention is that I'd highly recommend hiring a professional guide or going on an organized tour while visiting the Albanian Alps. Don't get me wrong, the region is pretty safe, and most locals are more than welcoming to foreigners. However, having a professional help you navigate the rugged terrain will make you feel much more at ease, and thus better able to enjoy the experience. I actually like that advice. One thing that I mentioned to people going to a place for the first time, like going to Europe or going to Albania, if you hire a local guide or go with a tour group, I think it makes your experience a lot more easy and get you accustomed to that place. And then if you choose to go back at a later date, it's like, oh yeah, I can do that. Then it becomes not really a thing, or not. It becomes less stressful, is how I would put it. So, all right, I have reached my 7 o'clock cutoff. Any last questions or comments? Like I said, I think puck drop is actually at 7:10. It's kind of disappointing. No David, no Badger this evening. Badger and I were doing some messaging earlier this week, so I was hoping he would make it in this evening. But you know, people have other lives and other things to do. So by all means, I hope everything's okay with both of them. And Jason H, if you're watching the replay, I hope everything's going okay. It's been a while since I've heard from you as well. So I'm hoping you're doing all right. Let's see. Remember, I can speak. Monday live stream, regular live stream on Monday. Take a break for Thanksgiving, and then we'll come back on Sunday and Wednesday for regular travel live streams. This coming Friday, we'll be doing the live stream of the hopeful SpaceX launch. It's a 2-hour window, so I'll try to find some backup stuff in case there's some holds in the launch in the launch countdown. We can chat and see what happens. Maybe I'll do some editing live, and you can see what a joy editing can be. Nah, I probably won't do that. So, all right, my friends, thank you for coming in. I enjoyed this evening immensely, and I am ready to eat some dinner. I think it's a mac and cheese night. Just keep it simple. Post-show mac and cheese. Yeah, I think we'll do that. All right, friends. Archie says, hope to join the launch coverage at 8 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, I do too. Anyway.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
And hopefully that includes setting my alarm clock properly. Haven't been doing a lot of that lately, so. All right. Good evening, Bodacious, and that will do it for tonight. Thanks for coming in, and Jason, I will be seeing you in my texts, I believe, and we'll connect and get coordinated on having you on the live stream once I get my office and once we get past Thanksgiving and all that good stuff. So, right. Go Ducks. Thanks, Archie. Appreciate that. They came from behind last night in Nashville. They beat the Predators. They were down 2-0. He came from behind and won 3-2. I'm expecting a bit of a letdown tonight. Colorado's a good team, and they're playing in Colorado at altitude. So I'm hoping for fun. I'm hoping for a close game, but I think Colorado's likely to win tonight. So anyway. We shall see. That's why they play the game, as they say. And I'm rambling now, and so that's...
He made me this collar so that I may talk. Squirrel!
I need to shorten that to just squirrel. And anyway, thanks everyone, and I'll see you hopefully Friday morning. Hopefully you can make it Friday morning for the launch. So bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.